Welcome to our entrepreneur slot brought to you by the IDC, and these are our partners for growth. And this week we focus on a different topic altogether, green technologies. The city of Joburg held a competition recently, and it is for the Green City Joburg Startup Competition, which was won by a company called Ducere. And one of the representatives of the company is Reyneke, who's joining us to tell us a bit more about their company. Andre,
good afternoon, Tim.
Pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And much appreciated, and compliments, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. We're having fun. Ducere concentrates on engineering development. Current development is a hydraulic hybrid transmission, which we call MISA. Effectively what that does, it catches energy and stores it that you're losing typically while driving and slowing down. And it optimizes the engine, which in very short terms means you're driving the vehicle at the most efficient line that it can drive, where when we normally drive, we don't have that. We're very inefficient drivers. It's an inherent fault of a vehicle's design. And that gives us an opportunity to actually use a smaller engine instead of a normal sized one, what you might be driving at the moment.
Well, I like the name. It's called MISA. So then you can be miserly when it comes to the amount of fuel and so on that you use, I suppose.
We're very stingy, We're showing some very good signs in terms of the fuel savings in the lab work that we've done so far, in the simulation work. We've shown up to 70%. If one will achieve that at the moment in real terms is debatable, because that is in the absolute ideal conditions. But
tell me about this. What kind of gadget is this that you have developed? Is it a gearbox, transmission, or is it a battery that stores energy? Just explain it.
There are two options when installing MISA. The first one is what we call part MISA, and the second one is full MISA. Let's just use those terms. Part MISA is effectively for vehicles that are already on the road, so it will be retrofitted to existing vehicles, where full MISA are typically for vehicles that come off the factory floor, so they have a whole new MISA gearbox in them. If we look at the vehicles that get retrofitted, effectively what happens is you add a couple of components to what you have. So you would add a pump that acts as a pump and a motor to the gearbox. Connected through that, you'll have accumulator where you store the energy that you're recapturing when you're slowing down and braking. And thirdly, you have a reservoir where you store the oil that places the nitrogen gas that's in the accumulator under pressure. And then there's an intelligent control system that will make the decision, am I going to use only the engine, am I going to use only the hydraulic system, or am I going to use it in combination?
But now, let's do the calculations, right? In the testing phase, you are able to save up to 70% energy. Or is that correct?
Well, at the moment, our focus is on part MISA. So because you don't have the full benefit of full MISA, you're looking at about 60% of what so you're looking at around about 40% saving to start with. So, still, if I may, it still gives a large truck owner who does long-haul trucking an 11-month return on investment. So it's very, very good.
Yeah, and then also the carbon emissions. I want you to tell me a bit more about them too. But let's talk about the efficiency and the savings that you realize as a result of using part MISA, as you call it. You say it's an 11-month return. Explain that in monetary terms so I can understand you, or in fuel terms.
In fuel terms, in South Africa, the typical long-haul truck does 150,000 kilometers a year. Yeah. So if you just take the diesel price and work an average kilometer per litre to that, and then look at the purchase cost of implementing MISA in one of those trucks, you pay that capital outlay back in 11 months. Okay. And after that, everything goes on the bottom line.
I just want to make an assumption. It's 150,000 at, let's say, 10 rands per litre of diesel, 1.5 million a year. So how much would MISA be then?
The MISA is going to be around about 200,000 rand. Okay. Yeah, for that large truck. Yes. You must remember this is scalable. So on a smaller vehicle, you have smaller pump, smaller accumulator, so it's a smaller cost.
So then instead of buying 1.5 million rands diesel, you will be buying how much once you've installed the MISA? Let's say?
You would be buying about 900,000 rand of diesel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So saving
40% if my sums are right.
That would be 600,000 for 200,000 investment. for the
Correct.
first year. And then the
Yeah.
second year, then you enjoy the benefits without necessarily... What is the lifespan of MISA anyway?
Well, the nice thing about this, because it's a hydraulic system, all the components that come are certified and they have at least a 20-year lifespan.
warranty,
You know?
yeah.
It's like, these are fancy pumps, you know.
Yes.
They're used to working very hard if you
Yeah.
think of mining applications and things like that.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's a kind of gadget that's going to take off, most definitely. And a lot of people who are in the logistics and transport business in particular will find it extremely useful. But you haven't commercialized it yet, I suppose.
We expect to commercialize in February. At the moment, we are very fortunate in that we have 3 clients who are in different stages of pilot projects with us. The one that's closest to being finished and completed is a long-haul client, and that should be done towards the end of this year. And then, then we've obviously done all the work. It's been patented all over the world. We've done tests in Europe and in Asia and in South Africa, and we're very excited. We're in a good place.
It's a South African design and concept?
South African company, South African people, absolutely educated in South Africa, so it's as South African as it can be.
And of course the city of Joburg gave you this recognition as the best green company in Joburg.
Yeah, we are very excited. I mean, it's been about 10 months or so that we've been part of the City of Johannesburg and UJ and Resolution Circle. Those are the 3 entities. And it's just been a blessing. I mean, everything has worked well. When they said ABC, it was ABC. There was no procrastination. It worked very well. And as you know, in terms of some of the things that we've received along the way, it's been fantastic for our business.
Is this going to be used on buses as well, or can it be used on buses?
Absolutely on buses. The nice thing about a hydraulic system as opposed to an electrical system is that you can scale it. You can install it on a 1000cc motor car, or you can go all the way up to a mining truck of 300 plus tons. We don't care. It just means it gets smaller or bigger.
Let's talk about private vehicles then, now that you talk cars. Let's use that as an example. If I fitted your MISA, your part MISA gadget, as you call it, then how would it work on a private vehicle?
Yeah, it would work exactly the same as on any other. It would obviously be a whole lot smaller, and the savings that you generate at the end of the day all depends on how much you drive. If you're going to be driving 10,000 kilometers a year, well, then maybe your savings won't be as much as somebody who does 30,000 kilometers a year. The other thing to keep in mind as well, in terms of is city driving versus open road driving. Because these technologies are best suited for stop-stop driving. So if you think like a refuge truck removal, or in the morning driving to work, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. You know, that's absolutely the ideal.
So if you let's say drive 50,000 a year, using the same example of diesel, and therefore spending around 500,000 rands of diesel a year, then you'd save how much?
Well, that is a very difficult question to answer, and it's not that I'm skirting the question. The reason is particularly in terms of our business approach, our focus on the market at the moment are for commercial vehicles.
Yes, okay.
We have processes on the go to work with OEMs, with manufacturers, where we want to get them into passenger vehicles, but we don't really see, although we can do it today, that's how we did our proof of concept. We did it in a normal Toyota Bakkie, you know. But
it's suited more for the long distance logistics.
Well, it's easier for us at the moment to do that because you have a much shorter return on investment, etc. But in terms of the long haul, if we can get this flying off a factory floor, the capital outlay is going to be much lower because of the volume is going to be a lot higher, and by then we would have smoothed out the technology and everything. So that's why I say you can't do the same sum, because it's going to be slightly different for a passenger vehicle, and we're still a couple of years away from when we want to enter the passenger vehicle market.
If I understand you correctly, then this is targeted at bigger established companies, logistics and transport type, right? Have you established clients already in the market?
We have 3 clients that we established, 2 here in South Africa and 1 in the UK. But then I have to say to you at the same time, if we just look at South Africa, there are 3.1 million commercial vehicles on the road.
I mean, well, it's a sizable market.
Stacks of business here, you know. We don't have to be running all over the world to become a nice positive revenue company.
But international clients, obviously, you're looking at markets there as well, right?
Exactly. what we did do is we set up an office in the UK in February. So we have a one-person office over there, but somebody with a lot of industry experience.
Yeah.
And Alan McDonald's his name, he basically has the job of working into Europe and in UK.
Yes.
So we already have a client there for our pilot project, and we've already done some work into countries like France and places like that.
So the factory has been established now to start full-scale manufacturing?
Fortunate thing for us at the moment, because we're still low volume, we don't need a factory yet. And the clients are also saying to us, we don't like our vehicles off the road, so we want the implementation to be in our workshop. So most of these clients have several workshops, you know, and so we go to the site, we implement it there. It's like installing an air conditioner car, it's a day's work, you know, if you think about it. And then certify it, and they can drive it the next day.
All right. Well,
hopefully we will get to the manufacturing stage.
But
soon.
you will be going commercial, as you say, in February of 2017.
That's our target date, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope to come and test it one of the days and see how it
Thank you
works,
very
or at
much.
least to just take me through the paces. But
Absolutely, love to do that.
Andre, thank you very much. Everything of the best to you.
Tom, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to everybody that's been part of getting us here. We appreciate that.
Sure, and of course, in a couple of years' time, we'll be talking MISA being installed in each and every car in South Africa. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Well,
it.
that's it, folks. The entrepreneurship slot here on our program is brought to you by the IDC, our partners in growth. We want to get South Africa growing as well as creating more businesses. And congratulations and compliments to Ducere Holdings.